Once upon a time, there was a woman admired for her beauty, elegance, and grace. Her beauty was like the moon, not blinding, but gentle, offering a quiet radiance to those who witnessed it. A kind-hearted man caught her gaze. Both hearts whispered a wish to stand side by side. And in a time, the most merciful granted what their hearts had long whispered. A quiet life took root within the beauty's body. The man labored tirelessly, believing a stable life was waiting to be claimed. Yet, he returned to his homeland, burdened by guilt that had been building for years, long enough until it awakes. His homeland he left had rooted from within, ruled by fear, power, and corruption. I need to see my family. I will come back quickly. I won't be long, he promised. But this time, escape failed him. No sign of his return came. The silence confirmed the neighbors' unspoken fears. They chose to answer the moon's anxiety. An answer will stop a spiraled mind. His country is unstable, they said. He may be gone forever. The word shattered the beauty's heart. Anger and determination took root in her chest. If there was one thing she could still fight for, it was the life waiting within her. Someone had to carry the weight of tomorrow. And so, the moon worked alone. A company accepted her, for her knowledge to be shared for the sake of the Plague Care's orphanage. The moon's growing life within her caught the ambitious heart, determined to revive the gods. Perhaps this is how the gods may be revived. Let's test this out. The ambitious heart stole the moon's life and cast her aside once the theory was deemed a failure. The shattered moon was found by the hands of the wise and gentle minds. They saved the night's birth, but the moon herself was beyond revival. Broken beyond repair, the moon made her tragic fate. The night was taken in by a woman with golden hair, one who had long wished for a child. With a heart full of love, she welcomed the moon's child as her own. The night was born without moonlight. Her beauty was feared, and so she was left alone in the dark. Until in the heart of that darkness, a flicker of light met her gaze. His light trembled, fading, yet still beating. He was no savior, only a lost light wandering in the dark. And together, guided by unwavering kindness each heart has, they led each other forward with fear that walks beside them. Until then, fate could no longer wait to greet them.
Hello everyone! Thank you so much for watching my art practicum exam. Yes, this video was meant for my art practicum and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. While I'm here ranting, you can also enjoy the art roller making process shown in the video. Originally, I wanted to make the video in this kind of style because my art teacher said that the presentation will be after 8 Fitri. which means I had lots of time to make it. But suddenly, it got moved to last week, and even my teacher wasn't expecting that. So instead of spending extra time drawing and editing something so hard, because I know those type of video will take a lot of time and stamina, I decided not to take the risk. I'm a 12th grader after all, doing 12th grader things, so I had to be realistic. The story video was actually supposed to be much longer than this one. Maybe around 7 minutes with full dialogues. But again, no time, so I simplified the narrative and made it shorter. And it turns out to be for minute. I used Gacha Live 2 for some animation. It's minimal, but hey, it works, and it's still good. If you didn't fully understand the narrative from the video before, that's okay, because I'll explain a little bit, so don't worry. This won't spoil the whole AU. This story actually takes place before the main character herself, Aria. It focuses on her mother's perspective. So let's dig in. The story is about a woman whose beauty was always associated with the moon. I mean, honestly, that comparison is pretty common in poems, and I used that for my story. Her husband, named Arif, was an Indonesian college student who escaped his country. Back then, Indonesia was under the ruling of Suharto, the second president of Indonesia. This is real history, by the way. The Suharto era, I meant. But Arif and Selena are completely fictional, so don't worry. During Suharto era, many lives were lost, protesters were captured, there were disappears. The military had strong control over the government, so Arif left because of that political condition. That's also why you'll see the DPR Indonesia building in the trailer art. I know the most iconic event associated with that building being climbed with massive of college students in 1998 during Suharto's fall. But in Poppy Playtime lore, 1998 is already after the Hour of Joy in 1995. But the DPR building is such a strong symbolism of New Order era, so I choose to include it. After living in Indonesia for quite some time, he escaped in America. Arif left intense guilt for abandoning his colleges and family who were still living in Indonesia. That guilt kept growing, so he decided to return. But he never came back. By that time, the world already knew what was happening in Indonesia, so it makes sense that Selena neighbor would assume Arif's survival chance was low. Selena is Aria's mother, by the way. Hearing that Arif most likely didn't survive made Selena angry. Not just sad, angry, and that anger became her fuel. She was determined to make money so her child would never have to live under hardship when she born later. Around early 1978, Selena worked as a teacher in Playcare School Orphanage under Playtime Co company. But wait a minute, wasn't Miss Delight the teacher there? Yes, she is, but that was after the Bigger Buddies initiative founded. And that project founded in early 1990s. I mean. We're not yet there. In this timeline, I'm assuming no major Bigger Buddies experiments were happening before the project itself. The experiments may already been happening during Elliot's era, because in this time possibly Elliot's still alive, possibly using rats as test subject in attempt to revive his dead daughter. At least according to the game theorist. However, large-scale child experimentation likely began in early 1990s after Harley Sawyer returned and BBI project was finally official. So now let's talk about Dorothy. Dorothy is a scientist with a personal obsession. It's to revive the gods. But aren't gods divine beings? Why would humans need to revive them? It's not about need, it's ambition, at least it's for Dorothy. In this AU, gods aren't beings to be worshipped, they are a presence of a domain, one of the Absolute's creations. In the species hierarchy, they are just above humans. Because it's above, that's why it's divine. It doesn't mean something needs to be worshipped, just a being that is higher than humans. Dorothy believed that human intelligence and raw power of human mind caused the gods to die, so she became determined to use that same human intelligence to revive them, because in her mind they were never supposed to die. Her ambition had nothing to do with Playtime Co. It was purely personal. She simply saw Playtime Co. as a resource, a place with knowledge and tools she could use. And honestly, transferring life into dolls and reviving divine domains, there's a similarity to that. So, she just worked to gain the knowledge. Dorothy tested reviving gods through living humans multiple times before. Oh my god. It was always failed. Then she saw Selena, 7 months pregnant, and thought of something new. What if the substance is given before birth, during pregnancy? The body is still developing, not fully formed. Maybe it would adapt better. So yes, that's why Dorothy kidnapped Selena. This was purely Dorothy's action, not the company's. Dorothy believed the experiments failed, so she threw Selena away like not useful anymore assets kind. But she did not throw it away recklessly. She erased records, burned documents, removed any connection between Selena, Playtime Co, and Dorothy too. Selena was later found in the dark by medical staff and rushed to a nearby hospital. One of the nurses there was Clara Jane. It's my OC, by the way. After learning there were no clear relatives to the baby, Clara decided to adopt her. She kept the name Aria, the last word Selena whispered before she got oofed, and kept her biological surname, Larasati. And so Aria grew up. When she reached her teenage years, her genes mutated. Her natural hair and eyes color changed into purplish tone, a manifestation of the dormant experiment from before she was born. And then the main Owl story started, featuring Aria, Larasati, and Matthew Hart's relationship. By the way, Matthew is the original figure of Poppy Playtime lore. You can find it in chapter 4, by the way. And other than that, also friendship, psychological trauma, and many more to it. And that's the end of the story when the night was born without the moon. Making this art trailer from 0 till 100 was exhausting but such a valuable experience. But yeah, I'm never gonna draw another art trailer again. It took me like 11 hours. I'm not going to get through that again. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like the video. No, you have to like it. I worked so hard in this. I wish you the best at night, at day, anytime, anywhere. And most importantly, subscribe. I demand it. So we can meet again in the next video. Don't forget to turn on the bell so YouTube knock on your phone and tells you when I upload something new. And happy Ramadan for those who celebrate it. Marhaban ya Ramadan. By the way, chapter 5 from Poppy Playtime has already released. Have you guys watched it? I've already have. And it was so cool and you should watch it. The prototype is being revealed, by the way.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no.